Talk to me about what unconditional love is.
I imagine it's loving yourself despite of where you are.
I didn't say who, I just said
circumstances.
what is unconditional love? Like, if you had to give me a definition of it, what is it?
Showing up for yourself regardless.
Whoa, let's get all of the self thing out of it. What is the definition of unconditional love?
Effort.
See, I think you're searching for something that it isn't, but I'm just asking you what it is. No bullshit. I need you to use your context clues and figure out what does unconditional mean and love mean. You don't actually need to define love. I just need you to define what unconditional is.
It means that there's no condition that's against it or nothing that can alter it, stop it, keep it from going.
So then what is unconditional love?
Loving despite. And that's period.
So you asked me, how do you believe in something? You believe in it unconditionally. Really let that sink in and understand what that means.
And unconditional belief, it sounds good. It sounds like a new buzzword that just got created today.
Yeah, I just did.
And I believe the concept. I believe that, yes, if you do believe yourself to the point of...
Let me ask you a question.
Not delusion, but confidence.
No, confidence has nothing to do with it. Let me ask you something. Do you think it's easy to unconditionally love somebody? Do you think that just comes out of thin air? And it's just walk in the park. Cool. Unconditional, right?
No, I mean, when you look at Jesus, how he has unconditional love for us, he accepts a lot.
Why?
Because he loves us.
Why?
That's a good question.
I mean, I think more so it is answered, and I'm pretty sure the answer is because, one, we are enough and we deserve it, right? So couldn't we just apply that here too? My thing is if you unconditionally love somebody, what's the reasoning? Think about the people that unconditionally love you. What's their reasoning?
Enough and deserve it.
But what does that even mean? What does enough and deserve it even mean? Repeat that.
Value. That means that they hold value, or they believe that you hold value.
But if it's unconditional, would that be the reason because either they're holding value in you or because you have value? What's the difference?
Having value is inherent. Holding value is perceived.
Okay. So then what do you think it is? Which one makes you, quote unquote, worth it?
Inherent value?
No, it's the one that's put into you, dog. Do you not understand that? If you're a baby, why the fuck would I love you? You're basically saying, if you were a little baby plopped out, unless he comes out with a stacked 401k and he comes out with a Rolex on him, you can't love him? Or is it the love that you place within the baby because it's your baby?
So it'd be like the action that you place inside yourself because it is yourself, and it's the one self you get.
You're never going to have another self than yourself. So it's like, if you don't start valuing it, who the fuck is going to value it for you? I was reading UOU earlier today, and it's so crazy. I want to read you a little something.
Cards, sir.
You want some more mini ones, or would you like some big boy index cards?
Some big ones would be helpful.
These are my good clipped index cards. You use that sparingly.
Or if you have paper, I'm fine with that too.
Where is it? Oh, I found out that E.T. Is friends with Bob Proctor, which makes a lot of sense. I don't know if they're friends, but they was chatting it up. Oh, right here. Are you ready? If you don't value yourself, nobody else will value you either. Okay? And he's basically talking about quote unquote leveling up, right? And the fact is that you need to level up into yourself to believe in yourself more. But what I just told you about unconditional one love for yourself, you're able to do this thing that's called unconventional, oh my goodness, unconditional belief, right? Dog, it's not just the fact that I believe I can do things because I just do things well. That helps out and all. But I just believe that I can do anything, so it makes it easier for me to do anything, right? You know how goated that is? It's like a debuff, or not a debuff, but like, what's the opposite of a debuff? Just, oh wait, it's a buff.
Right.
That's,
That's like
that's
you're
crazy.
like doing a double negative.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, my thing is, you can just have this. Like, here you go. It's just something that you decide to put on for the day. It's like just wearing a piece of clothes. Oh, I believe in myself today. Cool. Right? But people think it's harder than that. People think, oh, my why. I haven't developed my why. But, like, let me ask you a question. Is you not a big enough why? Like, is yourself, are you like actively saying yourself isn't enough to do whatever it is you want to do? Because if you don't understand that, then there is no way you will understand free will, right? So it's just like, what do you want out of this life? The actual you getting it or doing whatever it is you want to do is irrelevant. The first step is believing in yourself, because whether you believe or not dictates whether it's going to happen or not. I tell you all the time, you know, it's for a reason that I keep on saying this. I keep on saying that your thoughts dictate your reality. And Henry Ford keep on saying to y'all, if you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. So, like, why do you think I've been stressing so much hope and belief lately? Why do you think my number one mission is to make people believe in themselves? Don't you think it's just a little bit more important than I've been saying? Don't you think there's actually a reason I've been saying this over and over and over again?
How do we take it from words that are said and words on paper?
What do you think belief is? Like, action verb now. What is belief?
Doing the things you tell yourself.
No. Do you think that doesn't even make any sense? Okay? Because I think, like, you have a pile of Legos here. You're not thinking about how the Legos put together. You're just trying to force them together. I want you to think. Okay? What is actively believing? Hey, what is actively believing, y'all?
I mean, I feel like it's actively choosing the direction that you're moving towards.
That's like the chicken and the egg. Which one came first? You know? I think that you're over here, and what I'm asking for is right here. I haven't asked you hard questions today. I'm not your work, and the fact that you think that I'm just going to give you 80 fucking curveballs. Don't get me wrong, I like doing that. But I'm just asking for what believing is. You're a Christian, sir. Why do you believe in God? Because he said so? What is belief? What is believing?
Knowing something is true.
So, let me ask you a question. Can I believe in Santa Claus and know that it's not real?
No.
Okay, that was very good. That was very good. Okay, but people think that they're trick questions, but they're not. They're just simple. So let me do a scenario with you. And I just came up to you on the street and I was like, yo, dog, I'm an atheist. God's not real. How would you react? What would you say?
I'd say why they think that, or ask why they think that, or how they came to that conclusion.
And then what if they ask you, why do you think that he's real? Right? It's a hard question to answer because, see, believing doesn't actually have to have any factual shit in it at all. Do you understand that? Believing is an emotion. And what do we know about all emotions? You can have fear and anxiety for shit that's not real. So, are you telling me that you can only believe in something if it's real? Because that's just false. Right? Because Santa Claus isn't real, but yet still, there's billions of people, little people, believing in him, right? Yeah, and there's billions on billions people believing in Christ and all these other religions, right? So if something doesn't actually have to be true to believe in, how can we apply unconditional belief into something? Almost like, wow, ourselves. What part of it don't need to be true for you to believe in yourself? You don't actually have to be LeBron James to think that you can dunk like him, right? It's just a belief. And what you come to understand when you start studying biology, human behavior, right, is that we don't actually have to believe or actually know if something is true to believe. It's like, oh, it's already clicked on in my head. That's what believing is. Like, it don't even matter. It's true. Do you understand that? I think you were really thinking of this true versus not, but like the true versus not is psychologically in our head, not like actually real. I could think a water bottle is full, drink from it like it's full, but no water gonna come into my mouth, right? So people think that belief is just this hard set thing, and you know, it's really society. I mean, society at the end of the day is just everyone's beliefs, a paradigm, right? And if you start shifting your paradigms and like understanding that, oh, this don't actually matter, I could truly just believe whatever I want to believe, you start attaining those things that you thought were unbelievable because you believe you can get it. You understand though? So it's not like, oh, I need to go out and do 80 different things, pick 90 bananas, and now I can believe in myself. No, it's like right here, right now. Turn that shit on. And like, it's not a on or off switch, by the way. This is what people really get wrong about hope and belief. Hope and belief are legit like a waterfall, right? And it's just like, I already told y'all, majority of y'all just got leaky faucets, dog.
It seems like it's very easy at times to keep the faucet at a certain capacity. And maybe it's society putting psychological frameworks or putting psychological barriers that some people are willing to say, okay, and some people are willing to say, and that just seems like that's kind of a limiting factor for some, including myself.
So let me ask you a question, because you know I tell you all the time, like I really do feel like you're ever so inching your way into the tunnel, right? But I think that you're awake to the fact that you can wake up, but you still haven't done it. Because like you know all this, but what's stopping you? Right? Because like you know all this shit about society, you know all of this about beliefs, and you go believe in whatever, but like what do you think is like legit stopping you? Because I know exactly what it is, because it stops everybody. It stopped me, and once I started doing this shit, like everything just fucking started to click. You have all these Lego pieces, and like it's pretty easy to map it out. It just takes time and effort, but like how do you take control of your time and effort? We were just talking about it. It's one simple thing.
I mean, I feel it could potentially be belief, but
Because it is. You do not do anything if you don't believe that you can. And the thing is, the people who really get this wrong and like why you've been struggling so much lately, right? Let me ask you a question, right? Would you be worrying if you believed that you could get and keep this job?
no.
So it almost sounds like you're working yourself up to believing, and you think that doing all these things, learning all these things, are going to give you the belief that you can do this thing. But what if I told you that you could just believe that you can do this thing and it's going to be so much easier to actually validate it? Right? You don't actually need validation before you can give yourself validation. You could give that immediately and go figure out the rest later.
And I feel like it's not a switch. It is a faucet. But it comes down to the things that turn that faucet, at least for me. Because I don't see it as a switch. I don't see it as a affirmation is going to fix it or a visualization is going to fix it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this again. I really, really, really want you to critically think about this one. What is belief? And what is believing? And while you're at it, go ahead and tell me what the hope is. Some junglers right there. It's really something to munch on, dog. But if you're able to develop a good answer to that, don't even got to be correct, because what you'll come to realize is that every single word, we are the ones who put meaning into it. You can redefine whatever the you want about this world. Legit. Anything. This whole world. One of my favorite quotes by Virgil Abloh is like, we can reshape and build this world. Because it was built by someone already. That's a little Steve Jobs in there too. But like, that's what I'm saying. All of this around us, it was by other people thinking that they could do it. It's like, oh, what is the key to actually unlocking your best self is by believing that you can. It's that simple. But belief is hard. So please answer my question of what is hope, belief, and believing? I highly suggest you looking into human behavior. That should go crazy. Explains a lot about a lot.
Hope is believing in things that aren't seen yet.
Tell me more.
I feel hope is putting longing and attention and focus on a direction or path.
What would you say a longing is?
A desire.
I really like the fact that you use this word, so I really want you to broaden it and explain what you mean and how you're using that word.
Longing?
Yes.
I feel like longing comes from prolonged awareness on a certain direction that's aligned with a larger vision.
I like that answer. I was going to say something a little bit different, but I think that does make a lot of sense. But like, the key word I want you to really narrow in, yes, it's long, but you did want that long. Do you understand that? Hold up. I don't know why you wanted this, but like, that's what you're saying when you long for something. I really like that you said desires too, because like, it really comes down to human behavior. But like, I'm going to talk to you a little bit later on about society and belief systems. But it's like this thing that people take for granted, this thing that people don't really recognize, this thing that just slips by and it's always nice to do, but not a lot of people actually do it. Talking about belief, right? So you're talking about longing. I want you to explain what that has to go and do with belief and how that can almost cure it. I mean, at the end of the day, let me ask you a question, right? You said longing, and I really want us to place an emphasis on the long part of it now. Let me ask you a question on a question, right? How long have you been a Christian for?
Technically, a very long time.
Okay. So it's almost like this belief thing can happen for a long time, right? So, the rapture isn't coming probably when we're alive. I don't know when the heavens are going to open up and Jesus like, cool, we got it. I'm ready now, right? We don't know. But like, that's allegedly supposed to be happening. And then everyone's going to go up or down, right? Been believing in that for a while, huh? So, why? I don't actually want you to explain, but I want you to understand the why within every belief you have, right? There actually doesn't really need to be a reason. It's actually a choice. You decided one day, cool, this sounds right enough. I'm a believer, right? So it's almost like belief is a choice. Wouldn't you say? So then you asked me earlier, how do I believe and do all that shit? You make the choice to believe unconditionally. Because there's no such thing as conditional belief. And if there is, then you're just asking if something's right or wrong, not if you're believing. See the difference? Even then, right and wrongs are just beliefs too.
And that makes me think, like, how do you re-up your choice? I guess it needs to be a daily thing.
Yeah. Belief is a daily thing. What part of I wake up and I believe in myself today? So, are you ready to answer my question? So I told you I asked you a question on a question because you still have another question to answer for me.
Go ahead.
Belief and hope. What are they?
What I'm gathering is hope is longing and awareness on a belief. Belief is that choice. And believing is that daily choice, an unconditional choice, which means despite the circumstance, despite the day, if it ends in Y, you're believing in something.
You see how you're smiling right now? You see how good this feels? Because, like, if we believe and this is what belief is, a lot of things change, right? See how that smile just won't get off your face? You see how good hope and belief is? But it's like, you're telling me earlier, well, life just feels like a chore. It's because you're letting life feel like a chore, right? When you have hope and belief, it gets, like, exhilarating, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just cool. And it's like a choice anybody could make at any point in their life or time. And it has to be remade. Like, I imagine it's unconscious for you at this point because you just believe so much. But do you ask yourself every single day, do I believe in the Lord today? Do I believe that I still gotta pay my bills? Or is that just already there? It's just what you already believe in. So what if I told you I didn't have to wake up every single day and be like, I believe in myself first thing. It's just I already do that. See? See how beliefs actually work? It's like this thing you just get to install in your head. It's already there. And it's just there for as long as you want it to be there. Because it's a choice. You understand that?
That makes me think that it comes from some level of. I mean, it has to start from an outside perspective because people aren't dropped on the same way the baby isn't dropped with a Rolex and a 401k. We're not perceived or inherently like I choose to pay bills. And I mean, hell, some people.
Well, I mean, that's society. That's what we learn, right? So it's just like, I don't know what this life would be without society. That would be really interesting, you know? But I mean, society is always going to be society, right? Society is what society is, and society has always evolved, right? So it's just like, we could be living in a different society, different planet, different everything, right? But like, there's so many unknowns that don't really matter regardless. Like, even knowing about society is irrelevant at the end of the day.
But hypothetical here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use this, so hypothetical. So there's people, and I guess that does come down to environment, but it also comes down to choosing, because you could have a perfect environment. You could have parents that do hard work and you see them doing hard work. You could have a brother that's doing hard work, see them do hard work, but still you could choose that learning.
So remember what I told you? So remember when I told you, like, you could come from a good environment or a bad environment and still do good or bad things. And it's so crazy because what's that boy's name? Skinner. In Freudian psychology, he thought environment was everything, right? But like, environment is just one factor, right? When you really learn about human behavior, it's nearly everything, dog. And majority of it comes down to taking care of yourself for sure, but that's physically and mentally. Focus on that mental part, and like, the physical stuff is very easy, right? So it's like, people don't really put in the effort to learn, like you said, about how to think, right? And then, you know, I keep on saying this all the time. You know, I was talking about Bob Proctor earlier, but your thoughts dictate your reality. That's not like just something I believe in. It's something that is true. Like, that is just a fact, okay? But I also believe that. So if I believe that, don't you think I would want to kind of put myself in my best interest and think good thoughts? I'm not saying thinking good thoughts is going to cure everything about you, but I'm just saying that
it gives you a leg up. It's like one more thing you don't have to fight.
What part of things are just easier when you believe that you can do it? You can still do it anyways and think that you're going to fail. It doesn't fucking matter. But what believing does is give you the openness and the willingness to do the thing. Right? Yeah. Why would anyone want to do something knowing that they're going to fail at it? Like, is that fun? No. So it's almost like this thing that we can choose called belief. We could just believe we could do something, and now we don't have that burden on us.
And I guess the way that I should, or this hypothetical should start looking at it is like, regardless of if you believe or you don't believe, the outcome could still be yes or no, regardless. When you roll out the permutations, the computations, you might as well stack every favor or every odd within your favor.
You know, this was something I really was learning from Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. Like, it really just is that. Like, there's a certain level of, you just have to be a little bit delusional. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, beliefs are just a delusion. You're just, I mean, that's really just what a delusion is. Thinking that something is real and it's quote unquote not. But, like, that's what belief is. You gotta be a little delulu to believe, right? And it just really comes down to that, because what separates people from being average and being obsessed is understanding that you can do anything. Having that belief that you can do anything, because you cannot be obsessed and think, well, actually, that's the whole point of being obsessed, is not giving a of what the outcome is and just doing it anyways. Because that's what you were going to do anyways. Right? I think obsession is like a step above belief and hope and all that shit. Because to be obsessed, hope and belief don't even matter, right? It's just what you were going to do. Being obsessed is like, oh, I'm alive? Cool, let's do this. Right? That's what that is like. Oh, I have free time, cool. Let me think about this. And like majority of your effort go into that. So like if I would say like I'm already obsessed with learning. When I get idle time, I think about what can I learn next. I be pondering things to learn. And then just connect things that I already learned. But what if I told you another thing that I've been getting obsessed with is just becoming my best self? It's like when you have the belief, like I believe that I could do better, but now I'm obsessed. There's nothing I'm going to not do to get better because I'm obsessed with getting or becoming my best self. Right? And it's just like these things that you just stack on, right? You ask me, how would I go about getting obsessed? You, one, believe that you can get obsessed with the thing, and then you believe that you're obsessed with the thing. And then just magically, one day it just happens. And then it's like, you just hold on to it. You know? It's nothing like too crazy. It's just like, to like really be obsessed, you just got to do obsessed level things. And I think the biggest way of being obsessed is just doing the things that the other people don't. I really do want to give y'all a little tip really quick. If you just write out all the things that you want to do and become, like I just write over and over, I am obsessed and completely committed to my goals and dreams, over and over on pages, bro. And it's just like, an average person wouldn't do that, but an obsessed person would. So it's just like doing the most because you can do the most, right? So I think it's more so just like always doing more. Always trying to get whatever it is you're obsessed with. That's really just what it is. And like real belief in yourself is. And that's just unconditional. Oh, I feel tired? Fuck that shit, do it anyways. Oh, I should probably plan this out more? And I don't know, do whatever that's going to limit me? Nah, just do it anyways. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's really what it is. I hope y'all aren't obsessed with some bad things like Diddy was. But to do what Diddy did, he had to be obsessed. There was no other way. You look at every single great person, what greatness is. It's just like being great at being obsessed with the right things. And you only have to be obsessed with the right things. I mean, look at Hitler and Diddy. You know? And Hitler was like, he was trying to do that phlebotomy shit and fucked up all them people. But what those people needed was belief. It's almost like belief's just a cure all. But say that to cancer.
What are you saying right there? That last part.
Well, I mean, it's not a cure all because, you do have to back it up though. Like at a certain point, if you just like, okay, I believe I'm gonna get an A on this thing, it's not gonna help you get the A. You actually gotta like put in the work, but the belief, it just helps you.
Which I think that's one thing. So it's like, believe you can get obsessed, do the most because you can, but also do the basics because you can.
Do the basics because you need to get to the next level, right?
So do the basics because you must, do the most because you can.
And that's what I've really just been thinking about lately. Like I said, I want to read you off something else. Because I just don't do normal things anymore. So, like, how I start my day, I start it inside of a Notion doc. And then right now, y'all see me doing these little things, which I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about this later. But, like, this isn't normal shit I'm doing. Because what I will say is to, like, really actually be different and obsessed. Like, the book, I'm back on Be Obsessed or Be Average. It's like, how do you be obsessed? You do what the average people won't. You just do different things from average, and that's how you become unaverage or exceptional. But every single day, sometimes I miss it. It's unfortunate, but every single day I want to have a good day. I'll come do this. And it's called my accountability and commitment. And I have a commitment journal right over there. And I even am developing this new thing where I'm just writing down laws for myself, right? But I wake up, I do this, okay? I legit will say, I will do my best. Nothing but my best and only my best today. I do not give a fuck about the outcome because I will do it no matter what. I will show up and show out and move on to the next task. I am here to change the world, and I am far from normal, so I have zero time to be acting average. I demand and expect self-control from myself. Today, I will work harder than the day before because I simply have the capability to do so, so I will and must. Today is not just another day. It's an opportunity to change my life and the world for the better. I will move hard, fast, and controlled until the day is done or until what I have planned for the day is done. And then the first thing that I have to do is read that 5 times to myself out loud, and then I get 1 checkbox done. And then the next things I have is I understand that today is a gift and I will not waste it. I am committed and obsessed with becoming my best self today. I didn't say tomorrow. I didn't say any of that shit. I said today. Because I do this every day. Right? You don't have to. But I know I'm not going to ever forget what my purpose is. Because I wrote it out. I'm doing unaverage things so I can become obsessed. You asked what's being obsessed. It's doing everything that you can to make sure that you don't ever become obsessed. You know? It's just being obsessed. Yeah. But like, that's not it. This is just the first step. Like, you just add in so many systems. So many like little things are just pushing you to where you want to go, and that's just it. And this is a forever game. This isn't, oh, I'm doing this for the week. It's like, I'm testing this for the week, and we will be evolving it the next, right? That's really it. But in order to do that, you have to believe in yourself first. So, do that.
This note card got some packs on it.
I bet.
Believe you can get obsessed. Do the basics because you must. Do the most because you can. Do what the average person won't. Always do more because you can. Show up, show out, move on to the next task. Incremental. Oh damn, can't even read my handwriting now. Gave. X factor, limiting factor.
Hey,
do
listen,
it anyways.
Don't just write this down. Live this.
I plan.
Okay? You know how I feel about taking that. Alright, so that's about it. That's how you can become obsessed. But first you need to believe and obviously have a little bit of hope. I already told y'all I'm going to break down a little bit later on about hope and belief. But I just really want y'all to not think of it as a linear thing. It's not an on or off switch. You simply just have to get as much of it as you can. I want y'all to think of it as a fluid or like water. Think of like the rest of what you're trying to fill in is the ocean. At the bottom of your waterfall is an ocean. I want you to start thinking of hope and belief as the same kind of liquid. Okay? And your only goal is to get as much of it by doing the things that you're doing, but also just letting it flow. Okay? This is truly going to stop all of your doubts and all of that shit. And if you recognize that you are doubting, then your hope and your belief just dried up. Okay? And you need to figure out how to get that back. But remember, it's just a choice. And if you really want to make the choice a little bit easier, keep writing it down. Really just become obsessed with it. Just do the little micro things that just, oh, well, that's not normal. Once you start recognizing and you're just living a life that's not normal, you're going to be living a better life. Now, don't do no unnormal bad things. Just do unnormal good things, okay? Anyways, that's all I got for y'all. This was just a discussion with me and my brother. I'll talk to y'all later.